All right, hello and welcome now on day 6 of our Advent reading through Isaiah, 3 chapters a day. Today on Saturday, chapters 16, 17, and 18. Because it's Saturday, I will keep this video short, but that's not only by option, but also these 3 chapters end up being some of the 3 shortest chapters in all of the book of Isaiah. I believe it totals to, I believe it was 34 verses, something like that. And so today's reading will be very easy and brief for you. And it will also be somewhat redundant. As I've said, this book can be dense. But even so, the poetry can be quite beautiful. In chapter 16, the theme of the judgment of the Moabites continues. Now, the Moabites were people who were descendants of Lot. Back in the book of Genesis, you might recall that Abraham, who was the grandfather of Jacob, or Israel, he has a nephew named Lot. And it's from nephew from Lot's incestuous relationship with his daughters that Moab is born, and therefore the Moabites. And so there's some relation here, as these people would be much more conscientious of lineage in their culture. How honor was derived was in many ways, and one of those was through ascribed honor, which had to do with genealogies. And so this is why the Jews kept such strict genealogies as a comparison to who is honorable and who is shameful according to their history, their family history. So these Moabites are people, because of their history, they are shameful to the Hebrews. And not only that, they've had struggles with the Moabites at different times in their history. And so it's not surprising that Isaiah and the Hebrew people would be interested in this judgment that's going on with the Moabites. However, in the middle of this chapter 16, we do see an ounce of prophecy and hope here. You know, a trustworthy king is going to be established, and that will be amongst Israel. He will rule in a reliable way, this one from David's family. He'll make sure to make just decisions and will be experienced in executing justice. So once again, this book has been a call to condemnation because of the lack of justice in the land. Not only is there crime, but the poor are being taken advantage of. But once again, there's a reminder, and all of this uncertainty that's happening, a lot of this that we have to work through to set the foundation here of Isaiah's prophetic book, that yet there is going to be a good king that comes. So then, into chapter 17, you'll never guess what is happening. Well, you will. Once again, judgment, and this time on Damascus. Nobody is going to be exempt. Damascus was a very well-known city, something that we would liken to a metropolis of our time. And Damascus is going to suffer defeat as well. Remember, the Babylonians are coming through and marching and establishing their empire. However, within all of this, there's still a voice of hope. He speaks to a time in verse 7 when men will trust their Creator. They will depend on the Holy One of Israel. They will no longer trust in the altars their hands made. You know, this is also, in a very subtle way, but another thing that looks forward toward the the permanent Israel and the permanent temple. We find in the book of Luke and Acts the idea of building, as well as the rest of the New Testament, that God is not going to live in a temple made with human hands, and therefore the altars made with human hands aren't going to be reliable either. That religion is going to be something that extends beyond that. Remember, back in the chapter 1, there was already this idea that they're very religious. They sacrifice on the altars made with hands, man-made, but yet that their hearts are very neglectful of the ethics of God. And so, let's see, then now moving into chapter 18, and you've guessed it once again, judgment. And now this land of the south is not going to be exempt from judgment as well. The Babylonians are going to march, and no one is going to be exempt from how God is reshaping and reshifting the world of Isaiah's time. And so I look forward to continuing to walk with you as we see where all of this is going, what all of this reshifting and reshaking and reorganization and reinstitution of the world is going to mean. All right, tomorrow there will not be a reading because it's Sunday, and that'll be the day that we don't read. And so I look forward to picking this up again on Monday with chapters 19, 20, and 21. At that point, we'll be just shy of 1/3 of the way through this book already in such a short time. Until next time.